I'm just going to take a minute here and briefly go over some of the preferences and options that you can change here in Grace Mobile 2. You can see I'm at the main screen here, and if I hit the menu button, I get this pop-up on the bottom, and if I select Preferences, it's going to bring up the Preferences screen. First thing you're going to notice is there actually is quite a few different preferences in here. The first one being the color scheme. You can switch between light and dark. It's kind of self-explanatory. You'll see everything has gone and changed. Literally everything, the entire look and feel has been changed now to light. To go along with that is this show background image. You'll see that there is an image in the background, both in the light and the dark scheme. If I select that, I can get rid of the background image. By doing that, that allows me to use this background color. And I can set it to anything I want. So let's just say I want dark gray. So we'll see I got a dark gray background now. And if I turn that background image back on, you'll see that the dark gray no longer does anything because we're using that image. But we can also customize text color. And let's say I wanted to do something, let's say I liked yellow. Alright. And link color. The link color, some of you might not know what that is. The link color are the links when you're looking at a verse in the chapter viewer. The numbers and links in there. This is the color that they're going to come up as. By default is magenta, but we can change it to anything we want. Let's say we wanted to make the links in there come up as green instead. And highlighting. This is the highlight color that gets shown when a verse is bookmarked, or we just choose to highlight it. And let's say we use white as a highlight color. We'll see the highlight text color. That's the color of the text that's going to be inside that that highlight. So we want to have a contrasting color. So we're going to, even though it's defaulted to black right now, we're going to change it to let's change it to this dark gray and just see what happens. And the enable zooming. What this does is turn on and off those controls that allow you to zoom in and out, as well as for those of you with multi-touch screens, the pinch to zoom. That'll either disable or enable that. So let's check out what we did here. So let's go hit the back button. We'll see that everything's changed. It has a totally different look and feel about it now. Let's go take a look at an actual chapter here and see what we have. You'll see that we got our links are now green, our highlights are now white with the dark gray color inside, and the text is all yellow. So you have quite a bit of different color options that you can do in there to customize the look and feel. And if you ever just want to start back over, you can come in here and select one of the default schemes. And I'm just going to, for the sake of it, put that back to dark and show the background. Down at the bottom here we have some other things. Under System and Security, our commentary provider. What that is when you are viewing a chapter and you see the little commentary bubbles for a verse, you can change which commentary provider that is coming from. By default, it is coming from Wesley's commentary. You can obviously change that to Matthew Henry, or you could do away with commentaries altogether and it won't show those bubbles at all. And the Daily Grace version, what that is there should be two versions in here, King James and the New International Version. You can choose which Daily Grace version you prefer to read. If you prefer the King James style reading, or if you prefer the newer style and New International Version style of text, you can choose that too, and it will give you the same. The daily grace will still be the same. It'll just be worded slightly differently. Numbers of records to show at a time. This is a very interesting thing. If you have a slow connection, and it takes too long to load, let's say it's 15 records, that's default, you can lower it down to 10 or 5. Or if you have a fast connection, you can make it more, and you can look at more records on one page. That goes for things like prayer requests or searches, anything that requires paging. You can change that, but be mindful that the more you do, the higher number you pick, the more records it's going to show. So the longer it's going to take to download that data, as well as the more processor intensive it's going to be on your device. So if you have a slower device and it seems to be taking too long to show, or you have a slow connection, try lowering that down. You might have better results. Same with the data connection timeout. If you're on a very, very slow connection, you don't have 3G service or something to that effect, you can try increasing it, and that can help you if you have any connection problems. These are obviously in milliseconds, as it says. Should say, yeah, it says right there in milliseconds. So 2000 would be 2 seconds, which is the default. That's pretty much as slow as you, as much of a wait time as you really want to get it, even on a fast connection. So if we have a really slow connection, we might want to go up to 5 or 6 seconds. So basically what that means is that little spinner is going to sit there and wait 5 seconds for some data before it says, hey, what's going on? Let me try and do something else to get this data for you. And those are pretty much it. It's not overwhelming, but there's quite a bit in there to fiddle with, and you can customize. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to use the options in here, the preferences.